So welcome to the show, guys. If you haven't noticed already, we've got a new channel. Just going to quickly explain why we've got a new channel. Our subscribers, the people that put the comments in the content that we create, a big thank you to you, because this is for you guys. You've told us what it is that you want, and we're trying to deliver that. So new image, new logo, new direction, but more importantly, we're going to be creating the content that you require. So we've got a timetable, and we're going to go over the new show timetable very shortly before we get into today's show. But a big thank you again to all our subscribers. This is the reason why we've had this restructure. Welcome to Crypto Bullseye, welcome to the new channel, and anyone that's not subscribed or anybody that does see this for the first time, like our content. If you do like it, share it with your friends. Make sure your notifications are on, because we'll be providing emergency crypto technical analysis to our subscribers when the market tells us that we think that you need to know. So welcome to Crypto Bullseye, let's get into it. Hope you like the new setup, hope you like the new logo, hope you like the new name, hope you like the new image. This channel's for you, and this is the new channel schedule. So we've got 5 shows, 5 days a week, and they're all bringing something different to the community, and they're all requested from our community on our different platforms. So we've got Monday, which is Altcoin Overdrive, and that's 9 o'clock, and this was a popular one from our previous content, and we'll be going over in-depth research, fundamental news and analysis on the team, on the project, on the narrative. We'll be providing in-depth analysis on that, and more importantly, we'll be looking at how long the project's lasted, whether it's going to last in the future. We'll be looking at the tokenomics, and we'll be looking at the technical analysis on the higher and the shorter time frame. So we'll be looking at where it is now and where it's likely to go in the future, and where it's likely to go in the long term if it can survive. So Altcoin Overdrive, 9 o'clock on the Mondays. We've got today's show, Wednesday, which is how to manage risk to create wealth, and that's going to be a well-being show. It's going to be a risk management show. Today's going to be on compounding, and that's at 9 o'clock on Wednesdays. So how to manage risk to create wealth. Friday, my favourite, Bullseye Community, We Hear You. That's at 8 o'clock. And this is going to be based on what it is that you guys want us to cover, whether it's going to be technical analysis on specific altcoins, whether it's going to be trading, whether it's going to be news, whatever it is that you want. This one's for you on a Friday. Bullseye Community, We Hear You, 8 o'clock. We've got Saturdays, which is going to be the gaming show, Game to Earn, 4 o'clock. And this week we've got Splinterlands. We're going to be covering Splinterlands, whether it's worth getting into, what's a good time to get into Splinterlands if you did want to, what's the potential of that, how long it's lasted, and the things that are going on within the white paper. So we'll be looking at in-game play as well on that. 4 o'clock, Game to Earn, Saturday. So the Sunday is going to be the main show, which is This Week in Crypto, and we'll be going over 7 days, the last 7 days in crypto from a news perspective. We'll be going over from a technical analysis perspective, and more importantly, we'll be going over what we think is going to happen in the following 7 days in crypto. So depending on the state of the market, we'll be looking at certain things, and we'll be gearing up our following weekly show based on the narrative, the state of the market, and ensure that our community is protected in times of hardship. Because one thing that we're not going to be doing is we're not going to be shilling high risk projects during times of hardship. Like, we're in the middle of a bear market now, we need to treat it like a bear market. So we're going to look after you guys. Stick with us, stick with the channel, like it, subscribe, share. Thank you to all our existing subscribers. Hit the notification bell. We'll still be doing emergency updates on top of this channel schedule. So if there's something that we think that you need to hear, like we say, we're going to give you that. So hope you like the new structure. Let's get into today's show. Right, today's show on compounding. Before we talk about compounding, before I show you the slides, what I want to do is briefly explain to you guys what it is that we're looking to do as investors in simple terms. So ultimately, we're looking to beat inflation. And why do we need to beat inflation? Because inflation will measure the amount of buying power that we have at a later date. So if we had $200 under our mattress 2 years ago, would it be worth as much as what it is now? And the answer is no. You wouldn't be able to buy as much with that $200, even though you've still got $200. Inflation over whatever allocated period of time, in this case 2 years, and as examples 7 and 10% respectively, you'd have 7 and 10% respectively less buying power at the current period. So we need to try and beat inflation, and we need to try and allocate our funds in something that's going to safely gain interest or gain capital over a period of time that's going to be more than the 7 and the 10% respectively. So it's a lot more difficult now than what it was a few years ago, before we had hardship, before we had the things that are going on from an economic and macro scale, and inflation running wild. Then it's a lot easier to invest than it is in times of hardship. So we're going to be looking at different ways as to how we're going to invest our portfolio, what things we're looking at. We're going to be looking at decentralized finance, we're going to be looking at stocks and shares, we're going to be looking at currencies, and we're going to be doing all this on Wednesday's show, which is how to manage risk to create wealth. Let's have a look at some slides. We've got Barry and Alice in this hypothetical scenario over a 5-year period, and I'm going to explain to you simple interest against compounding interest and the difference in the effects. So simple interest, firstly explained, is if you allocate a specific amount over a period of time and you take out the interest as profit over that period. We'll see how that works out against Alice's compounded interest, which means that she reaccumulates her investment over that allocated period. So let's see how much each of them are going to have at the end of their 5-year period, starting with Barry. So we've got a happy Barry. He's got himself $400 at the end of his 1-year term. His initial investment, of course, was $10,000, and we're using the 4% interest rate in this example. So he's got $10,400 at the end of his first term. We'll see how much he's going to have at the end of his second term, and we'll see here that you can see he's got $10,400 again. So that's the reason for that, is he's put his initial capital back in, he's took the $400 profit, he's had a total of $800 over his 2-year period, and Barry looks like a happy man. He's dancing away there in his dancing shoes, probably bought with his interest, and he's got another $400, reinvested his capital at $10,000. Of course, we know exactly what's going to happen in year 4 and year 5. Barry's taken his cut, $400 and $400, and of course he's reinvesting the capital. So Barry's a happy man doing that, and we'll see what happens to Alice when she compounds her interest. I want to know how Alice is doing. Alice is the smart one. She's the one that's compounding her interest. She's not taking the profits, she's not taking her dollars and going spending them on dancing shoes like Barry is. Alice is compounding the interest over a period of time. You'll see that she gets $10,400 at the end of period 1, but she does something a little bit differently than Barry, because she's putting that $10,400 as the capital for year 2. So at the end of the year 2 period, you'll see that she gets a grand total of $10,816, and she puts that $10,816 back into the savings. So whatever it is that she's investing in, she's putting that capital back into it, the $10,816, and coming out with $11,249. So we're just compounding over a 5-year period, and remember the example's 4% in this, but whatever the interest rate is, use that as your base rate calculation. So year 3, she's $11,249. She puts in the $11,249 into year 4, and she ends up with $11,699. So she puts that back in. Clever Alice, she's putting it back in, $11,699 into year 5, you've got $12,166. So you can see the power of compounding. This is a relatively short period of time. If you compounded interest over a daily period, over a monthly period, these effects work if you can manage to get access to any accounts or any interest savings that manage to do that. I know certainly decentralized finance does that, and we'll be looking at certain decentralized finance platforms later days in the channel, but you can see here just the power of interest, where compounding interest, where you had a happy Barry before, you've now got a sad Barry. He knows how much Alice has earned in comparison to him, and what I challenge you guys to do is compound the next 5 years of interest for Barry and Alice, and leave a message in the comments and tell me what calculation you've got. If you manage to get it right, we'll possibly be giving you one of our NFTs. We've got an NFT giveaway, so let us know in the comments, guys. Many thanks, we hope you like this. Before we go, we're just going to leave a quick slideshow of what happens if you double a dollar each day over a 30-day period. We'll see what we end up with. So we hope you like this week's episode, guys. There's going to be lots of different content coming out over the coming weeks and coming days. Like I say, we've got the new channel structure which we went over earlier on. I just want to say on the way out what happens when you double the dollar, and we'll go over doubling the dollar now over a period of time. I'm not going to speak anymore, but I just want to say thank you for everyone that's watching. Hope you support our new channel going forward. Subscribe. Hit the notification bell. We'll be doing crypto emergency technical analysis updates as and when you need to know. So take care of yourself, guys. Thanks very much. Bye now.